Hey YouTubers, and welcome to the first episode of ESGNet's Sports Gamer Soapbox Talk, or Soapbox Podcast, or whatever we're going to call this. This is going to be the first episode, and honestly, the first episode, I really didn't have anything to, let's say, I have a lot of things to say about sports and sports gaming in general. But the first episode is going to kind of be here and there. There's two topics I want to talk about in this episode. One being Peyton Manning and his decision that he has to make here soon. If he is going to be a Denver Bronco next season, or if he's going to retire next season, actually. Or will he be a Denver Bronco, or possibly sign with another team? So that's something I want to talk about. We have my personal thing on that. But the one thing I do want to talk to about in this first episode, and it's about sports. It's about gaming itself, and it's kind of go hand in hand. I don't know if you guys are big fans of CAW leagues, create wrestler leagues. They're very popular here on YouTube. They're on here on YouTube. I follow several of them. I follow, and I know I'm gonna be name dropping here, but you got TXW, FFW, which is Full Force Wrestling. You got URNL or URWL. I follow them. I also follow NGCW, NMW, New Movement Wrestling, WEDF. And the list goes on and on. Pure, and a couple others. I also follow some guys that do universe mode. Guys like Sports Gaming Universe, Delzinski, SmackDown Talk, stuff like that. So I follow those guys, and by far the ones I'm naming and several others do a great job of putting together a show. They put a lot of hard work into it. There's several that just go above and beyond of what they do when it comes to sports gaming or simulation. Some are very serious leagues. They put on really great matches. They take a lot of time setting up how they're going to have their wrestlers be and the storylines and all that kind of stuff. And then you got others that are just loose, carefree, just playing the game, but also telling a story, putting backstory to a lot of the wrestlers. You got a combination of colleagues that have dream matches. And I'm gonna go ahead and name the one. The one I watch very, very often, and I watch it, and I wish they would put out more episodes. And I know the guy. I don't know the guy personally, but I know the guy that runs that league, WEDF. He puts a lot of work into it. Not just him, but there's several others that he works with in that league, and they've had some issues and stuff with inside their league, and I'm not going to get into that type of stuff because that's not none of my business. But they really do a good job of showing dream matches, matches that you would only see in video games, and they have a great story. And right now, I think here in a couple of weeks they'll be having their WrestleMania 3, WrestleMania, I should say WrestleMania 3. And they could put on a great show. And by far, it's going to be a great show. I can't wait to watch it. They just recently released, and I'll actually put a link into the description here. They had their recent Raw episode, which was just a great show. If you haven't seen it, or if you're looking for a colleague to watch, that's one you definitely need to watch. A lot of fun. Then there's Full Force Wrestling, by a guy on here on YouTube called Diehard. And I know if you do follow, you probably don't like him. You probably like him. But as a fan, and I'm talking as a fan, because first and foremost, this show is all about my opinion, what I think. And when I have guests come on here, they can speak their mind about anything. I'm not going to hold it against them. But he works his butt off on putting that show together. Him and a couple others. But this past week, he announced that he was not going to be doing CAW anymore. And I'm not going to get into the reasons why and whatnot. I'll leave a link down below, also in the description, of his video talking about what's been going on with his situation and everything. But I find it very interesting that people are being bullies on the internet and over just silly stuff. I know he left CAW for a while and then recently just came back. He's doing 2 shows. He's doing his FFW, which has I believe Genesis. I think he was doing Strike Zone there, but I think he dropped Strike Zone. And then he had another league, which was kind of to me, personally, I thought it had a kind of indie feel to it, and it was really cool. And it was called PWA, and I'll leave a link down below. You guys can check out those videos and whatnot. And I'm not trying to promote anything for him and for his sake or anything. This is me letting you guys know that about some really cool, interesting, good shows that are out there if you're a big wrestling fan like I am. Because to be quite honest, all these guys that put out these shows with the WWE 2K games and everything, they really go all out. And honestly, they're a lot more entertaining, a lot more fun than what you see right now, especially with WWE. So, I mean, these guys put on a great show, storylines, characters, all that. But going back to this whole thing, what's going on with him, he had his personal information released, his name, his real name, his phone number, all that kind of stuff. And that right there, just, that was it. And in the video, if you get a chance to watch it, I don't blame him. But the one thing I am really upsets me the most is, and it's just not in, in wrestling games. It also happens in other sports games. The people that watch these videos on YouTube and everything, to me, I think if you don't want to watch it, you don't have to watch it. If you don't like that person because of what if they did something to you personally, okay, fine. But don't put that out. Don't put that individual's personal life, on YouTube. If you have a problem with them, talk to them, call them, write them, email them, whatever. But don't put that out in public. I really wish, me personally, I know this is just me. I'm just, I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But I just wish he would not quit. To me, he needs to keep going on, make his shows even stronger. And the ones that have called him out and pretty much did all this to him, shame on you guys. You guys, that's so wrong. If you guys are upset because, to me personally, I think you're jealous of his product, of what he does, and the stories he puts together, and the wrestlers he has. for the most part, at least from what I understand, a lot of the calls on his show are his calls, with the exception of on PWA. He has a group, or he has he was looking for talent, and a lot of people said, hey, it was on the PS3 or PS4. They went over there, they got signed up, and he has a pretty good roster, and he was still looking for people at that prior. But I think with especially with CAW right now, this is just so toxic right now of what people are saying and doing to each other online, and I'm totally against. I am totally against online bullying of any sort. Personally, I've had people write stuff here on the channel. And I'm probably sure I'm going to have people making comments, about this first episode, about, and everything. I'm not trying to act like the police or anything, but it needs to stop. Going out and saying, it's no different than you going out in public and bad-mouthing someone. Or be on the news. I mean, they're, being slanderous or liable for things you say. And honestly, I think he should personally, I would go after the individuals that would put my personal information out there. And apparently, these people got some still documents or whatever of him doing some stuff illegally when he was a teenager. And you shouldn't bring that up, because if you got skeletons, if you're going after someone else's skeletons in their closet, you better make sure that yours is clean, because no one, as far as I know, no one is perfect. And you need to leave their personal business personal. Don't take it out on YouTube. Don't lash out on Facebook and stuff. If you have a problem with them, legitimately have a problem with them, ask them if the two of you can talk and talk things out. Be quite honestly, like I said, these CAW shows, a lot of these guys put a lot of effort into it and are amazing with it. Now, he doesn't know who. Well, he thinks he has a good idea who did it, and I'm not going to get into that. But I think it's just wrong. The same thing happens in, people's. There's other, not just CAW shows, but other people's road to shows or franchises, whatever, and people just get upset. And it's like, no one's begging you or no one's dragging you to watch these shows or watch these episodes or watch these YouTube videos. You have the right, you have the power to change that. And that right and power is, you don't like what they're doing? There's a button that says unsubscribe. Click on that, be done with it, move on. I think online trolling right now is one of the things I just hate the most. Because to me, if you have nothing constructive to say, nothing that is helpful, and that's what I'm talking about, something that's helpful that can if you think that it needs to be better or something needs to be improved, if you have nothing to say on that issue, then don't say anything at all. There's several times I've had people, say, well, you said, you did this and this. Yeah, I know. I caught that myself when I was watching the video. A lot of times I don't have time to, doing a video, when you're actually doing a video, you don't catch yourself doing those things, not until someone, brings it up. And I actually have a friend here on YouTube, actually a friend that I actually know in person, who actually watched my YouTube videos, and at times he will give me good advice. Hey, man, you said this word, half a dozen times. You may want to change it up. Vary that word. Find something else to say. And it just happens. You try to. Me personally, I always tell people when they ask me about YouTube and just doing stuff. And I actually have a background in broadcasting, and it is you don't hear yourself until after it's already been broadcast or already been been out there, and that's when you get the feedback from people, and that's what I like. I want constructive criticism. Tell me something that is helpful for me for the next time I speak in public or speak in a video. I know there's one video here on my channel. It's a Green Bay Packers video where I think it's the word there. I think I say it over and over, like repeatedly, and I'm thinking, first when I was doing the video, didn't hit me. Not until someone mentioned it, and I was like, okay, I'll check it out, and I did, and I realized I'm like, well, damn, I did say that, over and over again. I'll fix that. Well, then, no more than like a couple days later, some guy tried to be, a smart ass and said the same thing. And I was like, I already know this already. Thank you, for letting me know. But it's already been, it's already been addressed. For people that don't do YouTube, honestly, unless you got something nice to say, great. Other than that, if you're not in my shoes and not in my boat and you've never done this before, you have no idea how much time and effort it takes to do this. Especially for the guys that really get into this. Especially the guys that make, do this for it's their job. There's a lot of guys that I know I've met through YouTube and get myself started and everything. It's a full-time job for them, and it's tough. It's just no different than getting out there and having a real job. When you first start out, it's gonna be you're not gonna have the best videos. You're gonna have not the best commentary or anything like that. And I personally say, I always tell them I think I said in another video, I was like, my first couple of videos, or I told some people, my first couple of videos were not the best. But, practice doing this more often makes it better. Honestly, I think doing stuff like this, the podcast stuff, I can speak my mind. I have a lot more to say. I can take my time saying it, as opposed to an edited series where I have, 20 minutes to get to point A to point, E. And I gotta make sure I hit those marks. I gotta make sure when there's a certain scene coming up, I gotta make sure I emphasize that if it needs to be emphasized, And it's a tough thing. It's not something that you're not gonna be able to do this overnight. And that's what I say really about a lot of these call shows. These guys that do the commentary and stuff, some of these guys do the best commentary in the world. A lot more better than these professionals. Even a lot more better than Michael Cole. And I think he's one of the worst commentators out there. I can't stand him anymore. So yeah, going back to about the cyberbullying and everything. I know I'm kind of getting off track and whatnot, and deal with me. I do that sometimes when I go on these little tangents. But I think, honestly, that whoever came out and said this to him, and online, this was on his podcast. People were asking him stuff on or saying stuff to him by way of FM, whatever. It's some kind of social media tool. You can instantly ask questions and stuff. And they were getting, those individuals were getting very, very personal. And at that, they would have to know who they would have. He would have to know who they were. And I think he knows who they are because they know very personal information about him that not an everyday person would know. Not to mention, they got his personal information about his past life. So my question is, who did you get that from? And if you how much money did you have to pay to do that? And my question is why are you doing this? Because if it's just because of a simple fact, because you're upset and mad because he's putting on a great show and people are going there to watch it, and that he's getting a few hundred hits, maybe a few thousand hits or views and whatnot, that should motivate you that should motivate you to make a better show. You know. Competition is great. And anything, if it's in business, if it's in, it's in sports, which that's what this show's all about sports. There's competition in sports gaming, and there's competition in YouTube. There's a lot of YouTubers that I watch that I'm like, wow, I want to see if I can do that better than him. See if I can, get better graphics. I want to see if, and doing all that, it takes a lot of time, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of practice. Most importantly, it takes a lot of money. You got to have the best computers, and that's, right now I'm in the process of getting a new computer to make my videos better. And to do that, you got to have the cash. You got to have, cash to have the best top of the line elite computers, editing software and all that kind of stuff to do that. And right now, for the time being, I just don't have that kind of cash. I'll be honest with you. I got a minimum wage job. I do get paid for YouTube, doing videos. I don't do it full time. Would like to, but I have a regular 8 to 5 type of job. I have to, Monday through Friday work 40 hours a week. Only time I really do YouTube videos is after work when I'm not tired, and on the weekends. And it's sometimes I'm like, man, I just don't feel like want to do it. And there's times where I don't put any video content up, and people are kind of wondering why. And I usually tell them, hey, there'll be content up next, here in the next couple of days. I'll put up something, because there's times you don't, because you can get burnt out on this very easily. And it's not, like I said, it takes a lot of effort, it takes a lot of dedication, and you got to be willing to, deal with all that. So, yeah, with FFW and PWA going away, it's going to suck for me, because I enjoyed watching his videos. Towards the end of the week, that was kind of one of my thing. That's kind of one of my things I do here on, besides doing my videos here on YouTube, is, Saturday night, I usually throughout the week, I have a playlist for all the videos that I don't get a chance to watch during the week, and I kind of make it a kind of a Saturday night thing where I just sit back while I'm editing videos for the week ahead and whatnot for this channel, and I kind of just watch everybody else's videos, see what they did and whatnot. There's not too many YouTubers I follow. All the ones that are on my here on this channel that I follow them, and not always religiously. Sometimes, every so often, I'll catch their video and try to watch it, because that's another thing. I can't watch all the YouTube videos, so when I do sit down and try to watch a YouTube video, it's usually I'm just trying to listen to it, see what's going on, just kind of get the gist of what a player's doing or whatnot. So yeah, it's like I said, I'm just really fires me up that people are like that out there, and that's the thing. If you're that upset about him being better than you, I don't know what to tell you. Honestly, get a life, get better, practice, keep make your product better. And that's the thing. This community, and not just in the WWE 2K community, but all the communities, all the gaming communities are just. There's a lot of guys that are just poisonous, and they just say and do stuff online. It's just like, we should be helping each other out. Make the community stronger, not break it down so that you can. Because this is not seriously. It's not a business. This is not like it's the the WWE and everybody else is TNA. Because trust me, WWE, they have some right now, and that's another video. I'll talk about that in a future video. But WWE right now, they do not have the best product right now at all. I think right now TNA is at the best right now at this point. It is so much fun watching that, what's going on there, than it is at WWE right now, because with one, you got so much trouble, backstage issues are going on. You got storylines that don't make any sense, and I don't want to get. I need to stop myself now because there's so many things that just may not make any sense to me about matches and stuff for WrestleMania coming up, and it kind of just makes you scratch my head. Like, okay, this is a clusterfuck. You guys are throwing shit together. So, and before I even continue on, I apologize, pardon my language, but this is something you're gonna hear from me a lot. I'm gonna cuss, swear, I'm gonna badmouth, a lot of, especially when it comes to pro wrestling. I'm just gonna badmouth a lot of people, and individuals. So, again, if you don't like what I have to say, this is my podcast. You can easily just go ahead and just leave here now and find something else to listen to, because this is my soapbox. I'm on my soapbox. This is what things are going on in my mind that if I like it, love it, hate it, whatever the case may be, this is my podcast, my channel. You don't like it, go on. You go somewhere else. I don't force anyone to listen or watch my videos. And if you don't like what I have to say, that's fine. You can leave your comment down below. But if it gets too personal or too nasty, it won't. I'll just ignore you and move on. Because I don't really let little things like that bug me, unless you get personal, and then it's a different story. So yeah, like I said, with the community right now, especially with the, colleagues, I think it's so bad. But I honestly, I'll give you right now, with FFW and PW, those were, I think, I would honestly say they were like number 2 on my list of colleagues right now that are doing really well. Number 1, WEDF, doing a great job. Just wish, I'm hoping they'll be able to pump out more episodes here sooner. The other one is TXW. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably saying, "Oh man, what are you talking about, TXW? They should be number 1." Yeah, that's true. But for me, it's about episodes. You got to have that you got to have a steady stream of content. And I know a lot of these guys, and like I said, a lot of these guys do have a job. A lot of these guys do have school. And I respect that so much. I'm a college graduate myself, and I totally respect that. They got, and then you got you got life itself. But when it comes down to it, a lot of, you got to have a lot of content. And right now, WEDF has a lot of content. They have a library of episodes that I can go back to any episode and just sit back and watch it and enjoy it. It's such a great. Great product there. But TXW, one of my actually TXW was probably the first one I actually found a couple years ago when they were hot and heavy, when they were kind of the graphics, the commentary, the calls, and everything were so great. I mean, Shannon Severa and all of them do a great job over there. And I hope they keep it up. Hope they bring back some. I hope over the summer, here in a couple weeks, hopefully soon here, they'll be able to pump out a lot more episodes and do a lot more things with that show, because there's so much excitement and everything going on with that colleague right now. I can't wait. It should be a lot of fun. I'd like to see some new talent. I know they're bringing back their women's division, or I think they call them Vixens or whatever. I think that's great, because right now women's wrestling is hot right now, and I think that's the only thing that's kind of keeping WWE alive, oddly enough. And again, that's my personal opinion. If you disagree with me, hey, whatever. But yeah, with that being said, I mean, I think people, I think overall, I think they do such a great job. I will say the graphics and storyline telling, they do a great job. I just wish there was more. I just see more content for them, especially with the new WWE 2K16 and the arenas, because they always usually have some pretty good arenas and whatnot. I like to see more of that from them. URWL, I know they're on hiatus right now, and I've been kind of watching some episodes of theirs. I think they recently had like their URWL live or whatever, and that was probably about 2 or 3 months ago, or maybe longer than that. It was awesome, great show, great. Goldash does a great job of editing and putting things together and everything. Again, I'll leave a link down to that channel too, so if you haven't checked it out yet, you guys can check them out. And I know there's tons and tons of others. There's Lion's Den, that's another one I watch. You got what is it? CCL. The one I'm thinking of, DCA. They're another great group, especially the commentary Carter. Shout out to him. Great guy. I love his commentary. Cracks me up. That whole commentary team really just does a great job there, and you could tell they're longtime friends. They don't get all technical and everything. They just it sounds like it's just a conversation between friends, and I love that. I think they need to continue doing that. I think that's what something, if you're going to be a commentary, it has to be a conversation, not just with the other commentators, but also with the fans. So I think that's fun. I think that's great, and it needs to be fun. They have fun with it and just laugh and joke and everything like that with the fans and with the viewers and all that kind of stuff. So big shout out to them. And what else? I'm trying to think. Yeah, I said URWL. They're doing great. I just wish they would come back, because I think Mind Games, I've been waiting for that to upload, and it has not uploaded yet. And you guys need to get up that upload. I'm really excited about seeing that CPV from you guys. Oh, New Movement Wrestling. They got a call. They got a really great show. It's a combination of like TNA, WWE, Ring of Honor. I mean, all types of different wrestlers from all types of organizations. That's another one you guys should definitely watch. They don't have a big extensive library right now, but they do have a couple. I think they have like 2 free reviews. They call them free reviews. They're CPVs, free reviews. Check those out. They're great. Right now, I think they're on hiatus because they had some issues with, I think, one of the guys got in a car accident, so he's been, healing up and whatnot. But at least what I've heard last time I seen a update video, they're gonna be trying to get things together and whatnot, because they got a big preview called Uncivil War. Can't wait. It seems like the promo they have for it's so awesome. So I can't wait. But I can go on more about colleagues all night long, and I'm not, because we only got about 10 minutes left here. But I want to get let's go ahead and switch gears here. And like I said, we'll have on this show, for this podcast, we'll have a couple of topics. Sometimes we'll have one topic that will harp on all night and just talk, or sometimes we'll just randomly just talk about just random stuff. So just like I said, or if you guys, there's something you guys want to talk about, leave your comments, your ideas down below in the comment section. I'll read those, and if I get a chance to, we'll get to it, and we'll put something together, and I'll try to get that out there for you guys. I can talk to about it from my opinion about whatever you guys want me to talk about. So leave that down below in the comment section. But yeah, let's go ahead and talk about Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning recently won the Super Bowl 50. just a couple weeks ago, and congratulations to him. I'm so glad to see him win another Super Bowl ring. So now he has 2. So Eli, you guys are now tied. And that look on Eli's face, that was hilarious. And there were so many memes about that. They were great. But yeah, with him coming up, a lot of people are wondering if he will return to the NFL. And on that, my opinion, I think he left at a good note. To be quite honest, what is there else for him to do? The guy's made money, obviously, with endorsements. He owns several franchises of Papa John's in the state of Colorado. And of course, I mean, he'll continue making money in Colorado because there's, Colorado, weed is legal. So there's going to be enough potheads wanting Papa John's, as much as times they air commercials of Papa John's and him. So financially, I think he's set. Looking back at his career, he's done a lot of great things, and there's no need for him to come back. I think he has a all-time touchdown record, passing yards, and then he's now got 2 rings. So, I mean, with the exception of him coming back for another opportunity to get another ring, that'd be great. But at the same time, I think that might damage or tarnish his career. Now, I know a lot of you guys probably saying about the situation in Tennessee and stuff, and I'll get into that for another video. Again, that's another video for another time. But I think that honestly, his professional career in the NFL, I think he's done. I really, truly think he's done, because honestly, I cannot think of anything else for him to do. There's a lot of rumors saying that he could possibly not sign with the Broncos and possibly go to a team like the Los Angeles Rams. Rams are going to be in a new city. They're going to be back in their original city, which is Los Angeles, and he could help that reignite that franchise there in that city. City that is desperately needing a professional football team, because at one time, growing up, there was two teams in Los Angeles. You had the Rams, and you had the Raiders. So yeah, that city now gets that team back. And I know, kind of get off the subject. I'm sorry. I feel bad for the city of St. Louis, but city of St. Louis, you guys had an opportunity to help them build try to build a new stadium there, and people in that city didn't go for it. So I mean, honestly, what could you expect that that owner to do if you couldn't get help from the taxpayers there? And I understand the taxpayers. You guys are it's your money. And at that team has to perform well. If the team's not performing well, no, we're not gonna give get you a new stadium. So it's kind of a I scratch your back, you scratch mine kind of deal. And it's just sad to see something like that happening now. I really thought LA would eventually there would be some investors there that would have a brand new franchise out there, and be able to have a new original team in the NFL for the city that city of Los Angeles. But going back on Peyton Manning, there's nothing else for him to do. I really think that if I was Peyton Manning, one of Peyton Manning's closest friends or in his inner circle, I would tell him, just say, hey, here's a question. What is there else for you to do in the NFL? What do you think you need to do to make your name stick in people's minds. And honestly, I think people can say, you've done everything you can do. You know, you're an excellent talent on the field. You know, you can carve up defenses like nobody that I've ever seen in my lifetime watching it football, and that's just been the last 33 years that I've been on this earth. So, honestly, what do you need to do to get your name out there? And honestly, there's nothing. He's done it all. Honestly, I think he can retire. He can make more commercials. Him and Eli, because both are very talented guys when it comes to the comedic chops. They just, to me, I think they got good comedic timing. But yeah, I mean, I think honestly, he should just ride out the sunset with a Super Bowl win, and retire. Maybe if he wants to be close to the game, possibly, be a commentator. And I know last time I read something, I think it was on Yahoo Sports, that if he does retire, ESPN has offered him a contract to be a commentator for Monday Night Football. So, and that's where a lot of guys go after their career and whatnot. If it's not ESPN, it's Fox. Or CBS or NBC or something like that. So, that I could see him doing that, and it'd be really cool to see him. But me, I've been a fan with Peyton Manning ever since his senior year in Tennessee, and there was just something about this guy that just to me personally just drew me to him, and just the way he plays the game is just amazing. I don't think we'll see something like that for a very long time. So Peyton Manning, congratulations. I wish you the best. Whatever decision you make, I'll support him. But me personally, I'd rather see him the way he ended this Super Bowl as a winner, and I don't want to see him do what Brett Favre did, which was come back and then throwing all these interceptions and just not looking like the gunslinger that at least what I grew up with. So I think Peyton Manning should just ride off in the sunset and move on as a first ballot Hall of Famer at that. I mean, hands down, first ballot Hall of Fame. So. Retire, wait 5 years from now, and be in the Hall of Fame. So, all right. So, like I said earlier, this show is going to basically just be a show, podcast where I'm just going to talk. I'm going to do the talking, and you guys can do the listening, or you guys can, by now, some of you probably just already left already. That's fine. But yeah, it's just going to be me just talking about just being straightforward, just straight shooter about a lot of things. And not really have a filter on anything. Occasionally, if I have a news article I read or something, I'll try to put a link down in the description. You guys can check it out and read about it and whatnot. But for the most part, it's just going to be my personal opinion about a lot of things. What I think, how the media's covered some things, or things that have been going on in the gaming industry, because we'll talk about things that goes on within the gaming world when it comes to sports gaming. So it should be, like I said, it should be a fun show, and I can't wait for more topics and stuff come up. We got WrestleMania coming up. There's a special coming up with the WWE. It's called WWE Roadblock. We'll talk about that here in a future episode. Major League Baseball is coming up. We'll talk about that. We'll actually have my friend. He's been actually on a video here before, which was called I can't think of the video. I think it was the intro video for the first time I was introducing the channel. My buddy named Steve, he will be on the podcast here from time to time. and we'll talk about, I'll get him on Skype or something, and we'll talk about things that we think wrestling that just doesn't make any sense. So like I said, going over my time now. Usually these videos will probably be anywhere from 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and we'll try to go to, unless we have a really good conversation about something, or if I feel passionate about something, then we'll get close to an hour. So that is it for this first episode, you guys. Like I said, just had to get that off my chest about what's going on in the community when it comes to CAW community, and definitely check out those. There's going to be links to shows that CAW leagues I follow, and then you guys can check out and see for yourselves and want to see if you guys like them or not. But that is it for this first episode, you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and checking out this podcast. So this podcast actually will probably be up on Saturdays. Try to get up. I'll try to get up on Saturdays, if not Sundays. For at least this first episode will be up on Sunday morning. So right now, it's late or early Sunday morning. This will probably be out sometime Sunday afternoon, tomorrow. So, or today, however you want to say that. So that is it, you guys. Thank you for listening to me. And like I said, it should be a cool podcast. For the most part, I'll probably be just myself, but from time to time we'll have a guest come in, and we'll talk about what's going on in sports gaming and the sports world in general. So thank you guys so much. As always, if you guys enjoy the video, please leave a like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe and check out the channel, and subscribe for more of ESGNet presents Sports Gamer Talk podcast here on ESGNet. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.